matches this week. It's not chill.
I didn't even get any USC matches, but I think Aaron still hates me for.
Hello. Welcome back to Corsace Open. We are live a little early, 5 minutes beforehand, with our next matchup in Dream Squad versus SWAGLORDS. I'm Dio, and my planned co-captor is not here. So, gentlemen, which one of you wants to stick around? I guess Miles? Hey, man.
Hey Dio, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. We're gonna roll with me and Miles for this match because Chillier has more matches than both of us this weekend. So we're gonna roll with Miles. It's Dream Squad versus SWAGLORDS. We've already seen SWAGLORDS play a match earlier up against, I believe it was In My Opinion, the full Taiwanese roster. Got a bit of a mix for Dream Squad of a lot of Russian players, a lot of Finnish players on this roster, with one Greek player in Jackpacks. It's Handsome Me, their manager, with Zapay, Amacetic, How to Play, and Duske on their team.
Yeah, we saw this SWAGLORDS team play really strong in their match against, I think the team was called In My Opinion a couple hours ago. They won that match pretty definitively, despite it being 5-3. I feel like you never really thought that they would have any chance of losing that. But I think this Dream roster is going to be a little bit of a different look. I think we're going to be looking a lot at Zepe, Amacetic, and Jackpacks to play extremely well for this Dream roster. While SWAGLORDS, now they've got a little bit more time to wake up, maybe warm up a little more. I think they're going to be looking even better in that last match.
Yeah, let's hope so. This Canadian roster definitely has a bit of a higher skill cap, I think, than what they were able to show in their previous match. We saw, for example, Too Slow full combo the Hard Rock 1. I think there are plenty of other members on this team capable of pulling off similar scores in these sorts of matches. Vesprit, for example, is one of the best 4-digit Canadian tournament players that we have here. And I think we are going to have a quick swap of commentators. Miles is going to be swapping out, and iFlame is going to be swapping in as originally planned for this match. So a warm welcome to iFlame. Welcome in, sir.
Thank you. I see we are taking a look at the two teams here. Worth noting that SWAGLORDS, I believe, does already have a win in this group stage, so getting to 2 wins would put them in a really good spot as for qualifying for the next stage.
Yeah, they were able to beat the 3rd seed, In My Opinion, earlier on in the group stage for themselves. In My Opinion, to note, is down 0-2 in the group stage right now. So they definitely need a win versus Dream Squad if they do want to make it out of this group. Their matchup is tomorrow at 13 UTC. But for this one, Dream Squad has actually yet to play a match. We don't have any information going into this one on how they have played so far. But we do have some qualifier results that we can look at for them. Of course, they are the highest seeded team in this group. And they had a relatively good placement in qualifiers. They were the 11th seeded team on average. Their players were getting about 550k average on every single map in qualifiers, which is really, really solid. We talked about this team a lot yesterday on Full Circle in their matchups. Really, really good DT scores, very good Hard Rock scores, as well as some of the Nomod mechanics maps like the Nomod 1. They had a really, really strong team score on that. But the hidden and the kind of more gimmicky maps in the Nomod pool, they did have a little bit of trouble with. Meanwhile, for SWAGLORDS in their previous match, they had kind of the opposite effect happen to them. They were very, very strong on the gimmick maps, taking points on stuff like the Hidden 1 and the Nomod 5 and the Hard Rock 2. So really good scores for them on those maps. And they did end up winning the Hard Rock 1 and DT 1 later on to close things out, so still very good on the just basic aim mechanics. But they did end up losing points on stuff like the Freemod 2, the Nomod 2, and the Freemod 1. So some of the flow aim, some of the tapping, really kind of tricky for this team overall, especially with the flow aim with the Freemod 2 and the Nomod 2.
Yeah, it's definitely a team that's going to be looking to avoid that tapping as much as possible. Things like the Nomod 2 could be options for Dream Squad if needed later into this match, but I do think, like you mentioned, they're going to look towards those DTs at the very least to start off this match.
Hopefully we get the players into the lobby shortly. We can get started with everything. I think we've probably said all that we want to say about this matchup so far. I'm looking forward to seeing kind of the consistency to come out from a couple of players in particular on the side of Dream Squad. Handsome Mizape and Emacetic would be the three that I'm looking at to kind of carry this team. Zape and Emacetic are two of the best Finnish OWC players and have been for the last couple of years. Both of them are just really, really strong on mostly speed and tapping mechanics, but are very good all-rounders who have been around in 4-digit tournaments for a very, very long time. And they have a pretty high level of consistency as a result of that, especially on lower star rating pools like this, right? We're not past the 7-star limit on this pool. We're not up at, 7.5-star finals level pools yet. So these players are going to be really strong overall, considering you are mid to high 6 stars for a lot of the mechanics picks in this pool. And that's where these players tend to shine the most. They can put up tons of great scores. And that said, SWAGLORDS have, I think, a lot of players who are going to be really good on the more difficult maps in this pool, on the trickier maps in this pool. And I expect them to ban out as many mechanics picks as they can, or one of the really difficult mechanics picks. Maybe something like the Freemod 1, maybe something like the DT2. But if I had to guess at a speed map they want to ban, it's probably the Freemod 1. It's going to be the DT3, actually, which is also completely fine against the Dream Squad team. They're all just really good DT players. So while it's not a mechanics pick, so to speak, it is still a really, really difficult DT pick. And that is something that Dream Squad's going to be good at.
Yep, really solid ban from SWAGLORDS, and this is probably going to be their toughest matchup of the pool. So, of course, Dream Squad being that highest seed, if they can get a win here, would be huge, and I think their chances are really good for qualifying. We've got an HD2 ban from Dream Squad, no surprises there. It's not something SWAGLORDS particularly like, but the map that Dream Squad did struggle with the most by far in the qualifiers, and so they're just going to get rid of that.
Yeah, I think pretty expected ban there from Dream Squad. Not a lot they can do against a team with a lot of the best hidden reading players in Canada on it, so they're just going to ban it out. And I expect them to pick speed. I expect them to pick flow aim in this match. We'll see if they go that way. There's a lot of options for them to choose from between those two things in this pool.
And keep in mind, it is just the one ban for this round robin, so no protects, no second bans. We are getting right into the picks. I think if you are Dream Squad, possibly going to look right to those DTs. I don't think they're going to waste any time in going towards that pool. And I do think something like the DT1 would just be a really solid, consistent pick for them here.
And this is going to be the Freemod one. This is the only custom song in this pool. This is an artist that the mapper Fergus found himself. Breakcore mapper finding breakcore artist for this one and getting the custom song for Corsace, which is great. Really similar to stuff like Xenobeat, relatively finger control and burst heavy, especially burst heavy as the map goes on. It starts to get less and less finger control intensive and more burst intensive. And this map actually has a full spread. So if you're interested in playing this map, but you're maybe not good enough to play in Corsace, you can still go play some lower difficulties in solo.
Yeah, I believe it's got 4 different difficulties, so there's something for all different skill levels. But yeah, this one is going to be very, very speed intensive, of course, at 270 BPM. And we should get the lineups in shortly. It's going to be a tough one for SWAGLORDS to find a really solid roster for here.
I think they'll probably end up going with a relatively similar roster to what they had the last time this was played. I believe they played this against In My Opinion. They did. It was the first pick for In My Opinion. And they did have a relatively good roster. It was Too Slow on the hidden Hard Rock, Jamara on the hidden Vesprit, and Woofle on the Nomod. And it was just a bit of discomfort from the to play from Woofle and Jamara, so maybe we see a swap on one of those two players. But no, it is going to be one swap of Vinopoly in for Woofle on the Nomod. So you do still have Jamara on the hidden, and Too Slow on the hidden, Hard Rock, Vesprit on the Nomad. Vesprit staying in is a given. He top scored with 840k for them in their previous matchup. On the other side, you have Hansome and Deske on the Nomad, Anesthetic on the hidden, and Zapay on the Hard Rock. That should pretty much tell you exactly how this roster goes on speed maps and on free mods. Generally, Zapay on Hard Rock, Anesthetic on hidden is to be expected between those two.
Yep, we have seen both teams looking very sturdy into the earliest part of this map, but it only gets harder as the map goes on, so I imagine we're going to start to see some misses, possibly towards the halfway point of the map as we get into the harder section here. Vinopoly going to be the first to fall. That sub-in not working out for SWAGLORDS so far, and no misses traded back on the side of Dream Squad, so they're just going to be off to a really big early advantage.
Yeah, and this is kind of the issue that SWAGLORDS had in their previous match as well, is that, yeah, you have pretty good scores from Too Slow and Vesprit, but Jamara and their last Nomod player just can't really hang with the rest of them. Too Slow is going to find the miss on the hidden Hard Rock as well. And now you're just seeing the full team gap come out right now for Dream Squad. And this is why we said that SWAGLORDS would probably want to ban Speed, because they don't have the players for speed maps like this. It's just not gonna happen. And well, it's not quite a 4-way FC, but it's a 3-way FC with a very high combo reverse choke for Duska on the side of Dream Squad, and zero chance of any comeback happening at all for SWAGLORDS going to the last quarter of the map. Let's just see how many combos stay intact for Dream Squad, I guess. Maybe they can top score the map for the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's looking like a majority of them. The ending of this map isn't that much harder than the middle section, so I think these players should be able to hold on. And the question becomes, what is the next pick for SWAGLORDS? Are we going to see them look towards something like that Hard Rock 2 early here?
Yeah, that is a really good team score. That is not quite 4 million team score for Dream Squad. Just based off accuracy for Handsome Me and a very early 2 miss for Deske, but about as close to 4 million as you can get without touching it. And that is a really, really solid overall team score for them. I don't know if we've even seen any teams get a better score than that. This is the first match I've casted all weekend. I've been busy managing a team for the tournament, so haven't had the chance to cast anything quite yet, but that surely is like top 3 for the weekend on this map. Surely top 3, maybe top 1. That's an incredible score. Like you said, iFlame, I think Hard Rock 2 is a good pick. I think Hidden 1 is a better pick, though. Maybe they want to save the Hidden 1 for later, but in my experience, if your opponent is banning Hidden 2, on this pool, with how the Hidden 1 plays, I think it's a really, really good pick. It's AR9, high density, swing alt, which is just all really uncomfortable stuff on Hidden. So if you don't have the players for Hidden 2, you probably don't have them for Hidden 1 either. And I feel like it'd be a really easy choice for SWAGLORDS. But we'll see if they end up wanting to go for something else. Maybe the Hard Rock 2 is also fine. Any of the aim maps in this pool, I think, are also pretty good for them.
Yeah, even the Freemod 2 is an option, that AR 8.5 Freemod pick. Isn't quite as tricky on the reading as the Hidden 2, but it's definitely an option they might look towards. I think kind of those 3, the Hidden 1, Hard Rock 2, the Freemod 2, are going to be the maps they look towards throughout this match, but the order is not entirely clear. And it is just going to be the HD1, so good call, Dio.
Yeah, just from experience with my team getting gapped on Hidden 2 and then also gapped on Hidden 1 afterwards. It's if you're playing in the tournament or if you're managing a team in the tournament, it's a pretty easy call. And this is a good roster for it. I mean, they have a lot of really good hidden players on this roster, between players like Jamara and Vesprit and Woofle and Genderbender. Vinopoly can play the hidden as well. I think the only player who doesn't really go in for this is Too Slow, but everybody else on this roster is going to be really comfortable. So I don't see a world where they don't pick this at some point in the match, and they're just going to come out swinging with it.
Yep, and this map was initially supposed to be pooled in the runoffs, but it was a little bit difficult, so had to swap that down to the round robin stage.
Yeah,
David.
it looks like this version had a lot of spikes previously, so those spikes were nerfed and then it was dropped down afterwards. Uh, for it was too easy after the nerfs for runoff. Um, and it ended up being apparently pretty controversial because most of the pooling team couldn't figure out if they could find a good song for this type of slot before finding something swing like this with a little finger control, a little flow aim, all that kind of stuff. And they actually lowered the approach rate to make this one more comfortable. Not sure that had the intended effect based on how my players talked about this map, because AR9 on this is really, really tricky. And this is kind of how the slot is going to be all throughout the tournament. So look forward to more alt maps in Hidden One.
Yep, especially when players are more comfortable playing those higher AR Nomods. Typically, we do see early misses traded from Vinopoly and Handsome, but Deske is going to find another one as well as Azimatic, and it's only, okay, Vesper trades it back as well. So right now it is 1 FC 2-2 in favor of the SWAGLORDS. This is a map that gets a lot harder as you go throughout the map. The map does not get any easier, so expect more of those combos to drop as we get farther into this map, and you have to worry about the players who are finding misses early as to whether they can build up any combo whatsoever into the ending. We see another trade from Besprit and Jackpax. That's going to be big for SWAGLORDS as it was the last FC for Dream Squad. And their two big combos are still holding strong. Really good accuracies as well. There goes Genderbender, 1 FC down, but they still got Shamara.
And there goes Jamara again. It's no FCs left intact for SWAGLORDS with the slider. It looks like slider break play for Jackpax there. I don't know if that looks like an FC based on the score, but no, it is slider break. Really high accuracy for him, and only Deske with good combo for Dream Squad. So the score is going to go over, but it's going to go over pretty slowly, and there's a third of the map left, so anything can still happen right now. Deske would need to hold for quite some time. Genderbender is going to find more chain misses. Vinopoly, Deske, and Jackpax all missing there. It's a 4-way, 5-way drop now with Jamara also finding misses. Vesprit versus Amacetic and Handsome Me is the map right now. It's a 50k score lead and lowering for SWAGLORDS as Dream Squad continues to climb closer and closer to them at the end of this map. Amacetic will drop the combo. The score is already swapped, though. It's Handsome Me and Vesprit still with combo in this map, but Vesprit with ever so higher combo by about 100 is going to bring it back just barely onto the side of SWAGLORDS. It's still flickering back and forth, though. It flicks back over to the side of Dream Squad with Vinopoly's earlier miss, and that one miss from Vinopoly might be enough to bring it over. Amacetic, Handsome Me, and Deske all miss at the last second. Genderbender will match it, but that 3-way break from Dream Squad is actually enough to give it to SWAGLORDS by, I'm going to say, about 10k after Amacetic finishes that slider. Super, super close map all the way to the end. Yeah, just barely over 11k at the end of the map for SWAGLORDS. Incredibly close map, and not nearly the kind of gappage I was expecting based off of the Hidden 2 ban from Dream Squad, showing off just how good first seed in a group can be on the first pick from SWAGLORDS, winning that pick by just a tiny, tiny margin.
Yeah, SWAGLORDS going to be breathing a sigh of relief on that one as Vesprit held onto that combo just long enough to get them to the point. Dream Squad, of course, aren't going to be too worried. That was the first pick for SWAGLORDS when you usually don't expect to win, so I think they were going to be pretty happy that they just got it as close as they did. And now they do have quite a few options. They've got the DT2, which is that other kind of speedy map in the pool, of course, much more finger control focused. And they wouldn't look too bad on the DT1 either, one of those more aim consistency DT picks.
It's not going to be an aim consistency DT pick because of how well SWAGLORDS could play those last match. It's going to be one of the purest speed maps in the pool once again with this DT2. a lot of finger control and streams in this map. This one less about like blue tick finger control, which was often the finger control involved in Freemod 1, more about just straight up doubles and quads before moving into a lot of the quote-unquote longer streams at 222 BPM. None of the streams in this map actually super long because we are still in the first round of the tournament, and the BPM relatively low at 222, so something that I think most of the players on both of these teams are going to find pretty accessible.
Yeah, and I think this could be very similar to the Freemod 1, with SWAGLORDS potentially struggling to put together a full roster that is comfortable playing the map. I think we'll likely see one or two of their players be able to put up really solid scores, but it's the third and fourth players that kind of are a little bit more up in the air, and are going to be the difference makers on this one.
Yeah, we do have a lot of mappers on this one, by the way. Deka, Kawari, Nissan, Iljaz, and Lucent all collabing for this map. So 5 different mappers on one difficulty here. And it's just a finger control DT2. There's a lot of doubles and some streams, and that's kind of it. It's a relatively comfortable pick, but I think a little bit less comfortable than Freemod 1 if you're going with the OMG4's map discomfort scale. It's probably about a 4 out of 10 on the 4's scale, the discomfort scale, if you will. Internal terms are a little different for that one, but it's the discomfort scale, the OMG4's map discomfort scale, about a 4 out of 10 on that one.
Yep, it's going to be a little bit tricky, but nothing crazy. We should be getting a similar lineup for Dream Squad. Imagine it's going to be Asthmatic, Deske, Handsome, and Say Hey. No surprises.
And Too Slow coming in for this one for the side of Swaglords. Honestly, I'm surprised that he... Oh, no, he was in on the Hidden Hard Rock on the previous pick, of course. Vesprit as well in once again, Vinopoli and Jamara in as the 3rd and 4th players for Swaglords. So no changes to the roster for either team from the previous speed pick in the Freemod 1. Not that you really expect them here, and you can already see all the spam doubles and triples in this map, as well as the streams in between. The streams tend to get longer and more frequent as the map goes on, so stamina starts to get drained harder and harder as the map goes on. And for now, you can see everybody looking relatively comfortable, and higher overall accuracy actually with Swaglords for the moment. Ever so slight score lead for them.
Yeah, it's maps like these where it's a lot trickier on the accuracy, that the accuracy could play a much bigger factor, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. We do have an early miss from Jamar, is going to give the edge to Dream Squad early on, and accuracy recovering for Dream Squad as well, so they should be able to take over a pretty decent advantage as long as they can hold on. Anesthetic drops a ton of accuracy, but holds on to the combo, and that's all that matters for now. Jamara recovering very, very nicely here. Oh, but another miss from Jamara, and that is going to hurt. Now 600 combo behind. Vinopoli finds a miss as well, and all of a sudden it's 4 FCs to 2 in favor of Dream Squad. Approaching the halfway point of this map, they're going to quickly start to dominate this map if we don't see misses out of them soon.
I mean, was there ever any doubt they were winning this pick after the Freemod 1? Like, you gap on a speed map that hard with Freemod 1, surely you just pick any and all remaining speed maps for the entire rest of the match, right? Unfortunately for Dream Squad, I think this is the last speed map in the pool. It's just DT2 and Freemod 1 as speed picks. The DT1 is not speedy enough to be considered speed, and Nomod 2 is 175 BPM, so this is the last of the tapping abuse you're going to see from Dream Squad. That said, boy, can they tap. Still going with the 4-way full combo. Never mind, Anesthetic actually breaking right before I said that. But it is still a 3-way from Handsome, Deske, and Zipe. 2-way full combo for Too Slow and Vesprit now. So with that break for Deske, actually suddenly... Okay, never mind. Not looking good enough for Swaglords. Too Slow breaking, Jamara breaking, Vinopoli breaking. It's just Vesprit with the FC intact versus both Handsome and Zipe right now.
Yeah, there's hope for a second until Too Slow found the miss, but now it's the 2 FCs, and they are out of time. And Dream Squad, without too much trouble, are going to be securing their second point. And now the pressure is, of course, on Swaglords to find a second pick that hopefully looks a little bit more convincing than that HD1.
Yeah, will be a break from Handsome Me here at the very end of the map. Not going to matter at all. It's an 800,000 score difference in favor of Dream Squad. So hard gapping right now is the term I'd like to use for Dream Squad at the moment. 1.2 million team score difference plus an 800k score difference is almost 2 million team score difference on their 2 picks so far, compared to an 11k score difference on the first pick from SWAGLORDS. So definitely the betting man is favoring Dream Squad right now, up 2-0 and up 1,990,000 points over over their opponents overall after the first 3 maps are over. That said, you can't just keep tapping abusing for the entire match. You're gonna have to go into some other stuff. I think that other stuff we're gonna see is, like you said earlier, iFlame stuff like the Hard Rock 2, relatively flow aiming stuff like Nomod 2 as well is a good option for them. Maybe they want to go into something like the Freemod 2, which again kind of does the same thing as the Hard Rock 2, but it is Freemod. So you do have some mod options for that map. I think the Hard Rock 2 is better than the Freemod 2 because Canada can take hidden, but you're probably still looking for something like those sorts of picks. And if I'm SWAGLORDS, I'm not really convinced that I can out gimmick Dream Squad because of what happened on the hidden one, and maybe I'm looking more at stuff like the Hard Rock 1 or the DT 1 because you had very, very good scores for your team on those 2 maps in the previous match you just played. Give me the Hard Rock 2 for SWAGLORDS. That's not what I was expecting.
I definitely what I was expecting. I think the Hard Rock 2 has been one of SWAGLOR's kind of biggest advantages for Dream Squad, based off of qualifiers, not necessarily on paper. So I think Dream Squad could put together a solid roster for this one, but might be the best option that SWAGLORDS has. And you know, you note the big score differences right now for Dream Squad on their wins, and normally I would say, as long as you get the point, that's all that matters. But in this round robin, if we do have, of course, tiebreakers by points, then it will come down to the average score differential on maps. So that actually is a pretty big factor here. And if SWAGLORDS do end up something like 2-1 or 1-2, tied with another team in their group, that kind of small score difference that they are winning by could actually hurt them quite a bit.
Yeah,
And
we'll
so
see. We'll see if they're able to convert a large score difference on this map. But just based off of like the expected picks for these 2 teams, I think it's gonna be a tough one to put together. So we'll see how this one goes. This is, by the way, comeback for Errol in Corsace Open. Pretty veteran Corsace Open mapper, did the finals tiebreaker last year. Really similar to lots of Cloyd Hard Rock 2 picks. Cloyd, a very, very familiar mapper for a lot of people in the tournament scene. And really similar to a lot of DJ Toto type stuff with a big focus on 3-4 rhythm and a lot of isolated doubles. About a 5 out of 10 on the 4s scale, the map discomfort scale. So let's get into the map. 2 slow, Jamara, Vesprit, and Vinopoly in for this one on the Hard Rock 2. Vinopoly, the only full combo remaining out of the gate for SWAGLORDS. Zapay going to drop, Handsome Me going to drop in response. They're joined by Deske and How to Play. I think this is the first time we've seen How to Play in this match so far. Anesthetic dropping out because he is not a Hard Rock player. Handsome Me going to drop the full combo as well. How to Play going to drop the FC also. And suddenly it's 1v1 between Vinopoly and Deske. Jamara on the good supporting combo, though.
yeah, we do see massive drops out of Dream Squad as they find misses on 3 players, and it's only Vesper trading that back. Jamara does follow it up, but now Too Slow is on a really nice supporting combo that's going to be able to put up a sizable lead for SWAGLORDS if they can hold on. The accuracy is better for Vinopoly as well, so that FC is going to be worth a little bit more. The key there is Deske still holding. There goes Vinopoly with a miss. The score should swing back over slowly if Deske can hold on to this combo.
There's big supporting combo for Too Slow as well. Jamara had dropped that earlier combo he was holding to support Vinopoly. Vesprit going to trade with Handsome Me, and that's just again favoring Dream Squad with better combo on how to play in Zapay compared to Jamara. Jamara drops, Too Slow drops, Vesprit drops. It's a full team wipe for SWAGLORDS, and it's the full combo still intact for Desuke. How to play will finally drop. Desuke will drop as well, but Zapay is there to pick up the slack with a bigger combo than anybody on the side of SWAGLORDS. There to make sure that the score stays on their side no matter what here at the end of the map. And this is kind of the trouble with this sort of pick. Even if you're comfortable on Hard Rock, even if you're comfortable on 6.5, the flow aim requirements in this map are so difficult. And Dream Squad, with the better flow aim roster, going to be picking up another point. Big carry pants put on for Desuke there with 670k on that map, and a lot of the other slack picked up by Zapay there with the 450k matching Too Slow. It's really the difference between the carry players, actually, comparing the scores across the board. It's 450k for second place, 270, 280k for fourth place, and 390k for third place. It's just the difference between Desuke and Vinopoly that ends up making pretty much the entirety of the score difference on that map. So, huge carry performance for Desuke, basically single-handedly winning them the pick there on the Hard Rock 2.
Yeah, you kind of see the angle. You see the idea behind the pick for SWAGLORDS. Vinopoly was just on that one slider break, so without that slider break, could have potentially gotten the full combo, which would have been enough to get them the point, but just not working out this time around. And so an early break point given up, and now Dream Squad has a chance to put themselves to a 2-point lead with their next pick. See what they go for. Of course, no speed left in the pool, so we are going to have to see them switch up the pick strategy a little bit at this point. Could see them opt for something. I'm wondering if there's something like the tech, possibly. But
I
it's
mean,
pretty
after
low.
that Hard Rock 2, I think you can pretty confidently just pick into something like the Freemod 2. They're going to go with Nomod 1 instead. I feel like maybe I have the picks backward in my head, or maybe the teams are picking backwards, but these are not the maps that I was expecting to see from either of these teams as the next two picks. Just based off the previous match that SWAGLORDS had played, I honestly expected Dream Squad to be picking into the Hard Rock 2 and SWAGLORDS to be picking into stuff like Hard Rock 1, DT1, maybe Nomod 1 later on if they were more comfortable on that. But it's going to be a pick instead here for Dream Squad, who decide to go into some more AR9 type of maps. They did lose the only other AR9 map that has been played so far in that hidden one, but this is a very different style of map. It's awkward aim, wide angle jumps, and Nomod instead of hidden.
Yeah, and to me, this feels like a kind of pick where Dream Squad has looked at the qualifier results, seen that they did way better on the qualifiers No Mod 1 than SWAGLORDS, and have opted into it as a pick. But I do think, again, on paper, based off the last match from SWAGLORDS, they could put up a solid roster for this No Mod 1. They have quite a few very strong aim players, and we'll see if they can compete, try and get that break point back here.
Yeah, no, I think I had the picks backward in my head because you are right. It is a much better Nomod 1 in qualifiers for Dream Squad alongside stuff like obviously the DT pool, DT aim, and some of the Hard Rock maps. But yeah, still a little interesting because this is AR9. It is a little bit more
For sure.
a little more reading intensive than you usually would expect for a Nomod 1. I mean, I don't want to call AR9 reading, but like most maps like this are higher approach rate. That's just how it goes. It's a collab between Nissan and Lasse with a small portion from Deca on this map, and it was originally intended as a solo map, but eventually got that collab going. And yeah, a lot of geometric and symmetric patterning in this map. So 4 out of 10 on the Forza scale for this one. No early breaks, luckily, for any of these players. A lot of rhythm changes in this map. Especially you have a lot of like 2/3 to 1/2 jumps in the heavy choir vocal sections in between a lot of the sort of standard stuff that you see right here. But everybody holding strong right now. No drops, no accuracy flubs from any player, really. So good start for both teams.
Yep. Notably, Jackpack subbing in for a Dream Squad and Genderbender in for Swaglords. So a couple roster changes on each side, and both of those players have looked really solid so far. This is the kind of map that, to me, does tend to be a little bit more comfortable. So we could see some pretty big combos on this one from a couple of players, and you expect to see especially high accuracies on a pick like this. That's probably not going to be a factor. Zapay is going to be the first big miss, and that's going to give an advantage over to Swaglords, and nobody trades it back. Jackpacks now finds a second miss for Dream Squad, and they are very, very quickly falling behind.
Yeah, no. Like, the qualifier scores for these teams are seemingly getting flipped on their heads a little bit, because Swaglords ended up winning against, in my opinion, on like a lot of gimmick stuff and then aim maps. And you know, you wouldn't expect them to win on DT aim and Hard Rock aim based off the qualifier scores, but here they are trying to do it again on this Nomod 1 pick, and it's seemingly working out really well for them. So this might just be the first mispick we see from Dream Squad, down 2 full combos at the break about halfway through, with 4 FCs intact for Swaglords going into the second TI now. Another break for Jackpacks to come out and over-aim on the triple directly afterwards as well. So a couple of combo resets there in quick succession for him, and nobody else dropping. Finally, a miss aim comes out for one member of Swaglords. Vesprid in the bottom left corner does find that miss aim, but it's still 3 full combos to 2. And the supporting combo for Dream Squad is just on Zapay right now, who has about 500 combo, is down 500 combo compared to the FCs as well. So it's a big combo lead still here for Swaglords, closing in on a 300k score lead to boot. Oh, and Vinopoly over taps at the bottom of the screen there. How to Play is going to trade the miss right afterwards. Luckily for Swaglords, unluckily for Dream Squad. But Jamara is going to negate all of their luck there and find another set of misses for Swaglords. 1 FC left on Genderbender, and that's it for the Canadian squad. It's Deske versus Genderbender, but the big supporting combo on Zapay means that this map can still be won by Dream Squad if both he and Deske can hold in the last quarter of this map.
They might need a miss from Genderbender, though. I'm not sure if Zapay's 500 combo can make up 250,000 points. There is still quite a bit of time left in the map, so we'll see. That combo is starting to get really big. It would be close if we don't see any more misses from the key players. We're going to have to watch Vesper, who does find a miss, and I think with that, they're going to be able to bring it back if we don't see any more misses out of Dream Squad. This is the opening that they needed to get back into this one. Jackpacks finds the miss. There was no combo on Jax anyways, though. How to Play finds the miss. The supporting combo dropping off for Dream Squad is not going to help out. Jamara does trade it back. None of these key combos are dropping off, though. The score is going back over to Dream Squad, but so slowly. They might need the miss out of Genderbender.
And I just don't think there's enough time now. It's a 200k score lead still here for Swaglords. Genderbender doing so much to carry this team. A bunch of 600k scores as support as well here. So very, very good team score for Swaglords, up about 230k-ish, 220, 230k over the team score for Dream Squad. A part of that is the act from Deske, and a lot of that is the supporting scores for Dream Squad as well. Just not quite up to snuff with the supporting scores from Swaglords. Makes a lot of that score difference by the end of the map. Really well played from Swaglords, and 2 breakpoints right in a row. The Hard Rock 2 picked up by Swaglords, going the way of Dream Squad, and the Nomod 1 picked up by Dream Squad, going the way of Swaglords. So maybe we'll see these teams reverse their pick strategy a little bit. Maybe Swaglords with a little bit more of the aim consistency, maybe Dream Squad with a little bit more of the flow aim and aim control. Or maybe we'll see them just keep going the same way, and these were, one-offs. It can be like that sometimes. Sometimes you just underperform or overperform where you weren't expecting to. So adjusting the strategy isn't always the right thing to do. But I think it's interesting because a lot of the maps that Swaglords won in their previous matchup were aim. You have the DT one and the Hard Rock one that went their way. You have the Nomod 2 and the Freemod 2 that did not go their way, that they lost in that previous matchup. They did win the Hard Rock 2, but it was by 120k. So it's not a particularly power pick for them. And they are going to go with some aim consistency here in the Hard Rock 1.
Yep. This one is going to be a good pick for them. Hard Rock 1, or the Hard Rock has been one of their better mods compared to Dream Squad. But again, I do generally agree with you on the strengths of these two teams. I think the Nomod 1 was a little bit of a bait pick because I feel like SWAGLORDS really underperformed on that in qualifiers, which may be what Dream Squad is looking at. But you look on this roster on paper, you know these. Anybody who knows these players knows that they are a very solid aim squad, and so yeah, maybe a little bit of a bait there. But now we're gonna follow it up with the Hard Rock 1, and this Hard Rock 1. Let's see. It's going to be very, very fast. 250 BPM aim, so it's going to be around 125. Quite a bit of flow aim as well on this one, I believe. And this is going to be a 5 out of 10 on the 4 scale.
Basically no flow aim. It's almost all snap aim jumps in this map. I mean, there's some like super low star rating flow aim jumps in this, but they're the kind of flow aim jumps that you used to see in old style Ocarata maps or like Satin maps back in 2011, right? Where the jumps are there just to fill the space in the map and create an even higher emphasis where you do have those super high spacing snap aim jumps. They're not difficult in and of themselves. They're more so there to serve as contrast for the really big patterns in this map. And I think if we're seeing players miss on flow aim, it's just like they're adjusting their tablet pen or they lag or something, because this map really is all about the snap aim jumps where you do see high spacing. Some of it is wide angle, but those are significantly different from flow aim style jumps. Like you see a lot of squares here, a lot of wide angle wiggle stuff, but the actual flow aim patterns in this map are not super difficult, and you can see the snap aim already coming out 250 BPM here as we see an early miss from Vinopoly. Nobody else finding the drop though. Too slow, of course, back in after the previous full combo in the last match versus In My Opinion. Another miss, this time from Genderbender on the side of SWAGLORDS on the back and forth there, and another drop on a slider break for Vinopoly. So not a good start to this map for SWAGLORDS compared to the 4-way full combo still intact for Dream Squad a quarter of the way in.
Yeah, and it's a second miss from Genderbender as well. So the misses themselves are not too concerning. The map is long enough, the combos are not far behind. But what's more concerning is the consistency, as Vesper finds another miss. And already we've got 3 FCs down for SWAGLORDS. And they're going to need to find some really big recovery combos. And already this match is out of their hands. Of course, we do expect to see some misses from Dream Squad. And there's going to be the first one from Handsome. But traded from Vinopoly at this point, SWAGLORDS can't really afford to find trades. They need to find recovery combo. They need to find some advantages, and haven't found it yet. Of course, there's still a lot of time left in this map.
How to play will also drop for Dream Squad, but it's the 2 FC is still intact on Zapay and Deske. Deske will find a slider break there. Looked like an over aim on just a random small spacing snap aim jump. Handsome and How to Play are going to reset again, and suddenly Too Slow versus Zapay is a wash, and you look at all the supporting combo for SWAGLORDS doing way more work than the very recent wiped combos for Dream Squad. This map has been completely flipped on its head. The only thing left to flip is the score. About 100k left on that one in the favor of Dream Squad, but very quickly going the way of SWAGLORDS with all these high supporting scores still intact for SWAGLORDS. We've got about a third or a quarter of the map left to go, somewhere in there. And as long as Too Slow can hold or at least match what Zapay is doing, this map should go the way of SWAGLORDS. Another break from Deske to try and close it up even closer for SWAGLORDS. There's the score flip as well.
Zapay has found the miss, so that's probably just going to be a win for SWAGLORDS if they have all built up some really nice recovery combos. Too Slow still on the full combo into this easier section of the map. Bit of an alt section here, but Looks like SWAGLORDS should be able to secure this one. This score lead has very quickly ballooned to 300,000 points. Too Slow finds the miss, but it just doesn't matter at this point. The supporting combo is not there for Dream Squad. It's only Handsome on the 600, and it's not going to be anywhere near enough against these big combos from Gender, Vinopoly, and Vesprit. And this one's gonna be about 500,000 point win for SWAGLORDS. So really nice to see them getting a little bit more of a decisive victory here as opposed to that previous Hard Rock 2.
Yeah, way more decisive this time around. Nicely done from SWAGLORDS. Didn't look so good at the start, but they made it happen, found the recovery, found their groove on that map, and end up 530k ahead on that pick. Definitely some score that they need, because I think they're still down in score overall by a pretty wide margin in this map after the first 2 points went the way they did for Dream Squad on the Freemod 1 and DT2. And this now kind of raises the question of, okay, where do Dream Squad go? They are going to go into flow aim more heavily with the Nomod 2. This is their last pick, by the way. So this is the very last map that they will be attempting to take a point on for themselves. Going to be this Nomod 2. It's all tech streams. This is not your typical Nomod 2. It's a really difficult tech stream map with cut streams, accel, decel, super high spacing triples and quints. Just kind of all over the place. Cut streams as well, cut doubles streams with some really tricky directional changes in this map that kind of force you to pause and play the doubles almost individually with your aim hand while continually streaming. So really, really tricky map, but very, very fun to play and a very, very good test of flow aim. This is also Gigi's Corsace Open debut. He was a mapper in Corsace Closed in this year a little earlier on, but this is the first time that we've seen him in Corsace Open. So really looking forward to seeing this map get played a lot. This one's a 5 out of 10 on the OMG4's map discomfort scale, the 4s scale for short. So relatively uncomfortable Nomod 2, and that's what you expect in a tech stream map.
Yeah, this one had quite a few iterations as the tech streams are very, very tricky to balance, but I do love this pick from Dream Squad. The aim very clearly has not been working out, has been going the way of SWAGLORDS for the past couple maps, and so they're going to go right into tapping as much as they can here. And I think we're going to have to see possibly players like Vinopoly, or maybe even Too Slow try and put up some big scores on this one as Anesthetic is back in. This is not a long map either at 2 minutes and 6 seconds. Every miss is going to count. This early chain miss from Handsome misses that entire burst there. Is going to drop a ton of accuracy, so that's going to give SWAGLORDS the very early edge, but we're going to start to see more combos drop off as we get into these streams. Deske, the next to fall, and not off to a good start as Zape and Vesprit are going to be trading misses. So 3 FCs to 1 for the side of SWAGLORDS, but Too Slow does find a miss as well, and it's going to slow the bleeding a little bit for Dream Squad. Genderbender now finds the miss. Now it's 1 FC to 1. Deske misses, but did already drop. Handsome on a really nice recovery. Anesthetic now finding the miss. Last FC gone for Dream Squad. SWAGLORDS could start to run away with this if Vinopoly can hold on to that combo.
Yeah, Vinopoly is a really good tech. Okay, never. Why speak? Vesprit's a really good stream player, and that guy's immune to caster curses. So I'll talk about him instead. He already missed. I don't need to worry about it. He's a really, really good flying player, really good tech player. Unfortunately for him, Handsome Me is matching the combo, and there's not really any supporting combo anywhere for either team right now. If anything, a slight edge for SWAGLORD, but gone immediately with that drop from Vesprit. Handsome Me able to hold through the break now. He's going to see during this break, he's the only combo intact halfway through. The map really does depend on how well Handsome Me is able to handle the pressure, able to handle the nerves. There's a little bit of free combo in this section where I think the score should close to swap over before we get back into a really difficult accel decel stream section here. This is where it starts to get really tricky again. You can see more space triples, Too Slow finding the break there. A lot of recovered combos on the line for both of these teams now, as most everybody's above 200 combo, 300 combo for the side of SWAGLORDS, but Handsome Me's combo is doing the work they need it to for Dream Squad, pulling the score to their side. He finds a chain miss on the Axel stream, and now you can see big score drops across the board. Amacetic and Too Slow going to trade. Deske going to drop as well. It's a much better trade for SWAGLORDS with only Zappe's combo intact for Dream Squad. Vesprit will miss, but Vinopoly and Genderbender will hold, and that may just be all they need to take the break point. Genderbender's going to find the drop, but Vinopoly does not, and that will secure the point by about 115,000 score for SWAGLORDS. A very, very close map. Only 100k score difference, but that's all you need to take the 4th point.
Yeah, and that's going to be match point. SWAGLORDS need 1 more point to take out this top seed as the bottom seed in the pool. And they have the pick. Could go towards that DT1 that you've been talking about all match. It is that kind of last aim heavy pick, one that they looked really good on in their last match. Of course, it is a little bit risky because Dream Squad is very, very solid on the DTs as well, but have not been able to win the aim so far, and that may just be the pick for SWAGLORDS. We'll have to see. Other option potentially I could see for them is something like that Nomod 3 alt-focused pick, but I think the DT1 should just be the way to go, as this would be a pretty big upset in terms of seeding at least.
I definitely would. This is top seed of the group versus bottom seed of the group. Bottom seed poised to take the match and stage a huge upset here for SWAGLORDS. If they can pick this DT1 and win it, I think they'll be really, really happy. It's a weird pick looking at the qualifier results, but it's not weird if you watched the last match that SWAGLORDS had. They put up a 2-way full combo and 4.3 million team score on that DT1, which is absurdly high. That's going to beat almost every single team in the tournament. And they are not going to go for it. They're going to go for Nomod 3 instead. So this is a very different pick from what we were expecting, but it is, I don't think it's a bad pick. I'm just a little surprised. That's all. It's an interesting pick.
Yeah, I think this was the other option for them, and that's purely because the DT1 is something Dream Squad has looked incredible on just throughout this tournament. Of course, this is their first match of the round robin, but in qualifiers, they were far and ahead the better DT team, and so maybe the DT is enough to scare SWAGLORDS off of that last aim pick in the pool. Switching over to alt instead, that I think something was a bit of a closer skill set, but SWAGLORD has some very, very strong alt players.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very snappy alt aim pick. Originally there was supposed to be a custom song in this slot for Nomod 3, but that custom song is likely to come in a future Corsace edition. So look forward to a custom Nomod 3 song, some other iteration of Corsace. This mapper was originally going to go for a Nomod 1 slot as well, this mapper being Zek, but this slot opened in availability, and Zek ended up in this slot, so a bit of a different slot from what he was intending to map. And this was originally going to be more flow aimy, but when a lot more of the pool was finished, this got pushed towards a kind of snap aim alt focus, as a lot of the other maps in this pool are already pretty flow aimy. So this ended up being a good fit for a snap aimy alt map, especially considering the mapper wanted to do Nomod 1 originally. We do have Genderbender, Vinopoly, Vesprit, and Jamara in right now. Amacetic, Deske, Hansumi, and Jackpacks for the side of Dream Squad, looking to break points and force the tiebreaker against the lowest seed in the group. Deske with an early miss. Not going to affect too much, I don't think. You can write it off as an accuracy deficit at this point. So
Yep.
Lots of map to go.
Who are you really looking to on this Dream Squad to put up the big score for them and get them the break point? I might be Amacetic, but we will have to see what the combos look like.
I mean, Amacetic and Handsome Me have been really solid all throughout this match. I think if you're looking towards any two players on this squad to put up a really solid score is going to be those two. Amasethic's going to find a slider break early on. It does match Jamara's earlier break, so not a huge deal. That said, I think this map is relatively easy in this pool. I think it's easier to get a high team score on this than it is on a lot of the other Nomod picks, like the Nomod 2 or the Nomod 5. So you're going to be looking to as many high combos as possible. Vinopoly and Amasthetic will trade. That's much better for Dream Squad, though. Vinopoly and Vesprit now both losing full combos for SWAGLORDS. It's only Genderbender left with the FC for them. Deske will find another miss, but again, it's one full combo to two right now. Genderbender versus both Handsome Me and Jackpacks on the side of Dream Squad. Already up 60k, looking to make that a lot more during the next KI time.
Yep, this slow section is just going to help out Dream Squad to really push this score lead. And there's not a whole lot of recovery combo on the side of SWAGLORDS for Jamara, so even if you find the miss on either Handsome or Jackpacks, the score is not going to go back over quickly unless we see Amasthetic dropping the combo as well. So going to be a lot of pressure on Genderbender, especially going into this last KI section. Cannot afford to find a miss anywhere, or we will be going to tiebreaker for certain. But this score lead has grown to, it's going to be nearly 150,000 by the time this slow section is over. So SWAGLORDS are going to need a really good KI. But it's Jamara finding the miss. That was the big supporting combo that they needed to hold on to. And there goes Genderbender, and it looks like we are going to be going to a tiebreaker.
Yeah, this one is so over for SWAGLORDS right now. Jover in chat or what? Because this is just completely unwinnable at this point. Jackpacks and Handsome Me still on the full combos. It's not going to be Amasthetic with that FC. It's going to be Jackpacks to bring us into the last part of the map. Handsome Me will find the drop. There is combo on Vinopoly, but it's being mostly matched by Deske. There's still the FC on Jackpacks, and the score lead is 400,000 and climbing right now. So no shot that SWAGLORDS take this. It is going to be tiebreaker in this match. We get another tiebreaker today. Quite a lot of them happening in the round robin so far.
Yeah, there's been a lot of, surprisingly close matchups, and you absolutely love to see it. What a performance from Jackpacks to bring this one back, and it's actually a massive score advantage for Dream Squad right now. So DT1, in hindsight, definitely was the pick for SWAGLORDS. Potentially missed opportunity there, but they're going to get another chance in tiebreaker, and we'll see if they can close it out there instead. I mean, I have to imagine just not expecting such a big 850,000 out of Jackpacks.
Yeah, I think they were expecting that they would do better on that map as well. I think that was probably the players on SWAGLORDS feeling like they low rolled on that map, because you're not gonna pick a map in an early stage pool like this that you're all getting 400k on your tournament sheet, right? That's just not how an early stage round robin pool works like this. You are not picking that map if you're expecting across the board 400ks with like maybe one pop off on a 600k. You're expecting much better. I think that was probably a low roll for the Canadian roster, and a very unfortunate timing to find that low roll, as that gives Dream Squad the opportunity to not only find the pop-off with Jackpacks, but force the tiebreaker here. Bat Country by Avenged Sevenfold, mapped by Dada, the corrupt difficulty. This is the only map in the pool above 7 stars. It is 5 minutes of 125 BPM flow snap hybrid alt with lots of 1/6 streams, which are about 187, 188 BPM, and a couple of 1/8 bursts, which end up being 250 BPM. When we get to the guitar solo about 2.5 minutes in, that's where you'll start to see some 5-note bursts at 250, and then at the end of the solo, a long 17-note stream, which you can double tap, but is a 250 BPM stream in this map. It really breaks up the song overall at that halfway point. So if you're not prepared for that stream, you may just drop on speed in a map that otherwise is completely devoid of it. So very, very much a map where you don't want to be sight reading. You want to know about that pattern so that your alt players can mash through it or double tap through it if need be. And this is the one map that Dada is going to get, I believe, in the tournament, apparently, according to the notes we have about this map. He took a lot of inspiration from LMT on the slider designs in this map, and it's been a long time since we've had a map of an Avenged Sevenfold song, so very welcome departure from the norm by Dada for this tiebreaker.
Very much so. This is a tiebreaker that I feel like slightly favors SWAGLords, as it is a little bit, of course, more aim focused. We did see Dream Squad look great on some of that flow aim alt. But of course, I do think kind of one of the key points in this map is going to be whether or not the Swag Lord players can make it through that really tricky 250 BPM longer stream in this map. And we'll have to see. But of course, there are lots of other tricky parts of the map where we're going to see combos fall in. And we've got the final lineups. Jackpacks back in for Dream Squad after that really good performance, and does find a miss at the start, but not really going to make a huge difference as Vesper trades it right back. And Shamara, the accuracies are struggling early for a couple players. I imagine they're going to recover, as we've seen a surprising amount of early misses.
We also see the optional hidden for Jamara, which is not normal on this tiebreaker. It's not exactly super high approach rate either, so I'm interested to know exactly what the hidden is doing for Jamara. Right now, he just looks uncomfortable with the map regardless of hidden. 90 accuracy for him so far on the pick. Having a pretty rough go of it at the start here, and honestly, the Canadian roster in general having a pretty rough go of it. As you said, only Deske with any misses so far for Dream Squad, but Vesprit and Genderbender with reverse chokes on the side of SWAGLords already. So we do see quite a big combo lead overall for Dream Squad. That said, it's all on multiple members, as we're still early days in this tiebreaker, still in the first quarter of the map, and quite a lot of time left for breaks like that to happen. Jackpacks to pay, Zamara, Vesprit, all finding drops. It's now combo on Vinopoly, Genderbender, Handsome Me, and Deske. A little bit of a combo lead for SWAGLords on Genderbender over Deske, but the earlier combo deficit they held still gives the score over to Dream Squad for now. And the accuracy lead that Dream Squad has can't really be understated. 92 and 94% accuracy for Jamara and Vesprit versus all 95, 96 and above for Dream Squad. So tough go of things so far for SWAGLords, even with the combo lead they have right now.
Yeah, and I think the key difference is you see Jamara and Vesprit missing the entire sections of some of these streams, whereas Dream Squad have just been finding a couple misses here and there. Into the next key eyes section, some very tricky linear aim, and it's Jamara who finds the miss into that first pattern. Zapay is going to trade it back, so those were two low combos. All of the key combos hold on so far. The pressure is on Gender, Vinopoly, Handsome, and Deske. And really, those two continuing to trade is going to make no difference in this match at this point. Vesprit and Jackpacks are trading recovery combos as well, and so it's just going to, again, be the slight edge for SWAGLords as they try and claw this score back. But Shamara's continued misses are definitely not helping them.
Yeah, this is that guitar solo I was talking about. We already got through the 5-note burst at the start of it. Another miss for Vesprit on the pattern aim in this section. Jamara, Jackpacks, Zapay all breaking at once. Here comes that 250-note stream.
Oh, Deske.
It's Deske and Jackpacks to both break on the 17-note 250 BPM stream at the end of the guitar solo. Only Handsome Me with combo for Dream Squad. It's Vinopoly versus Handsome Me, but look at the supporting combo on Genderbender. Huge, huge combo for SWAGLords. And that is all they need to bring the score back into their favor. If those two players can hold, it doesn't matter what happens in the rest of the lobby.
Yeah, the ending of this map is really tricky, though. There's plenty of time for both these players to miss, and if we see the two FCUs drop and Handsome can hold, the score could go back over very quickly. Zapay finds another miss, and this is where it starts to get scary for Dream Squad, because even if that FC drops, there's not really any supporting combo. Jamara and Vesprit now are on really nice recoveries, and Handsome is just all alone right now. No help whatsoever from the other players of Dream Squad as Deske drops that supporting combo again. Oh, there goes Genderbender. That's an FC down for SWAGLords. Luckily, Vinopoly is still holding, so they're going to still be in the lead, especially with Vesprit and Jamara recovering. There goes Vinopoly now. It's just Handsome with the FC. There's plenty of time for Dream Squad to make the comeback here if Handsome can hold, and that is a big if because the end of the map is very hard, but has been able to so far. Needs the support as well. Jackpacks has to hold on.
Yeah, Jamara is matching the combo from Jackpacks. That added hidden multiplier should be enough to deal with the accuracy deficit. So it's Vesperit's combo to try and hold off this full combo from Handsome Me, and it's not going to be enough. You do have about a 75,000 score lead for SWAGLORDS, but this low section is all just free score for Dream Squad going into the ending. The longer Handsome Me holds, the better it is for Dream Squad. I think there's just maybe even one difficult section left. There might not be any left in this map. I think just from playing through this map once before, I think it's basically over. I don't think there's anything actually hard left in the map. I don't think there's any difficult sections left in this one. I think it's all slow stuff like this, and the timing of the misses for the Canadian squad may just doom them to lose the tiebreaker in this match. The top seed will not be upset. It's spin to win at the end, maybe for Canada, but they are not. Oh, they are! They're outspinning! They outspun! They spun to win! It was actually spin to win! No, wait, no?
Oh,
I hate the tournament client! No!
Dream Squad win it by 145 points. We got absolutely baited by the tournament client, but it is Dream Squad in the end. They hold on to their spinners just fast enough there, and they will be taking this one 5-4 by 145 points. What an ending to this match. Oh my god.
The tournament client baited us so hard at the end there. We thought the spin to win happened for SWAGLORDS, but the team with the full combo will come out on top. It is Dream Squad, the top seed in the group, to win the match. And I did the math in the MP link before this. Before Tiebreaker started, Dream Squad had overall beaten SWAGLORDS by about 2 million points, counting all of the previous maps in the MP link. So if SWAGLORDS had won that map after losing a collective 2 million points on all the previous picks, it would have been something else, but it was not the upset of their dreams. It was Dream Squad to take the win instead and continue their run towards first place in the group, or rather to start out their run towards first place in the group, as that was the first match that they have played in this group so far. That is the second match for SWAGLORDS. They're currently 1-1, awaiting their match tomorrow versus Grease Monkey Deluxe in Group C. So good luck to them in that one. And I believe that is all the time we have for this match. So congratulations to Dream Squad, and good luck to SWAGLORDS in their next matches.